ring-tailed lemurs are really cute.
They are cute.
They live in Madagascar.
You are quickly running out of facts that I know about lemurs.
It turns out one of their favorite foods is prickly pear cactus, even though it's not native to the island of Madagascar.
But it's there?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. But that's not important right now. What is important is that this is a snap about Mada.
A game about lemurs and prickly pears. Mada is a simple card game designed by Sophia Wagner and published by Helvetiq. 2 to 5 players ages 7 and up can play in about 20 minutes.
And there's a lemur on the box.
There is.
So let's talk about that art.
As you might guess from the box, the cards are much narrower than normal playing cards. But they don't need to hold a whole lot of information, so that's fine. These cards, illustrated by Clarissa Milan, have a limited color palette. It's mostly bright yellow, pink, and dark green. The numerals and the prickly pears are both important, so they both stand out in a bright pink.
And the special cards, the lemurs, the double lemurs, and the scorpions, are very obviously different from the cactus cards.
So let's talk about the mechanics in this game.
Sure. You already mentioned the numbers in the prickly pears are important. So the goal of Mada is to have the most prickly pears in your winnings pile at the end of the game.
So how do you get them? Well, by not being the person to lose a round.
Wait, what?
Let's back up.
Okay.
Every player starts the game with 3 cards in their hand, and you're never allowed to have more than 3.
On your turn, you choose whether to play a card, draw a card, or try your luck.
If you play a card, it goes into the pile in front of you. You can only play a card if it has a number equal or higher than the number on the card it covers.
You could instead draw a card, if you have fewer than 3 cards in your hand. If you can't play a card that meets those restrictions, or you don't want to, you can try your luck instead. You announce to the table that you're trying your luck, not drawing, and then flip a card directly from the draw pile onto your own stack.
If it meets the restrictions to play, great, you're safe and the round continues.
But if the flip card is lower than the card on top of your stack, sorry, you lose.
Every other player takes the top card from their stack and stashes it in a winnings pile. The one benefit to losing is that you can choose to discard cards from your hand and draw replacements.
But what about those special cards? The lemur, when played on top of your stack, drags the top card down to the bottom of the stack. This can be a handy way to expose a lower number card so you can continue to play some lower number cards from your hand.
The double lemur lets you swap your current stack with another player, and they're not allowed to refuse. After the swap, put the double lemur in the discard pile.
There's one other card that ends up in the discard pile, the scorpion. As soon as you draw a scorpion, you must discard it, along with another card from your hand.
These 3 special cards definitely keep things interesting.
Once a player has amassed 5 cards in their winnings, the game is over. Now we no longer care about the numbers on the cards. Instead, we are counting those pink prickly pears present on the winning cards.
Whoever has the most prickly pears wins the game.
So, Anitra, what did we expect from this little box game?
I love finding new, very small games. This tiny box from Helvetiq reminds me of my favorite games from publishers like Oink and Button Shy. But all I knew from the back of the box was that the game is about collecting prickly pears.
I didn't really know what to expect from this game. I do think that games that make obvious, stylistic decisions, you look at the box and there's clear stylistic decisions being made there, they often have some kind of an interesting hook, so I was expecting something. I just didn't know what it was.
So, what surprised us about Mada?
Well, we first played it with just the 2 of us, but with 2 players, it's kind of obvious to see what your opponent is going to do, or when they're going to be forced to go out or not. So, honestly, after 1 play, we didn't really like it that much.
3 players was a little better, but we had the most fun playing Mada with 5 people. The more piles there are around the table, the harder it is to predict what's going to happen.
And that actually kind of was my surprise. Anyone who knows me knows that I have issues taking things a little bit too seriously.
Sometimes.
And this is definitely a game where you just need to, lighten up and not overanalyze what's going on. So, Anitra, do we recommend Mada?
Mada rewards pushing your luck and looking at the odds around the table in a way that's really best for 4 or 5 players. But don't push your luck too much because weird stuff might happen.
This is better for light play with a little bit of maybe silliness while having a conversation or maybe having a beverage, whatever. It makes for a great family game, maybe right after dinner.
Yeah. So, Andrew, what are we going to rate Mada?
Well, just like those lemurs, I think we're going to rate it 3 prickly pears out of 5.
And that's Mada
In a snap.
Yeah.
I think it was 2 fingers.
It was 2 fingers.